Coming to gold, we're about to do that. Hopefully you can compare and contrast your notes. Keaton, it's not going to be a surprise. We're going to be doing these every Tuesday and Thursday again. Back to my normal schedule. Tuesdays and Thursdays, 5 p.m. Eastern Time. Can I get a quick audio check? Everybody could just throw a 1 up there and let me know if you can hear me. Good stuff. Let some people funnel in. We're gonna get going. Don't want anybody to miss out. All right, I really like the song, but we're gonna get going, ladies and gentlemen. Good morning, good evening, good afternoon, wherever you are in the world. I hope you all are doing well. Let's get it going. All right, this is not financial advice. The information on this channel is provided for education and informational purposes only, without any express or implied word of any kind, including warranties of accuracy, completeness, or fitness for any particular purpose. Please feel free to pause the stream. Oh gosh, I am way down there. Pause the stream, read through this. That way you know that I am not a financial advisor. This is not for advice. This is all for educational purposes only. Fantastic. Welcome back, everybody. Going through today, and we're going to be going through these pairs. These are the ones that I trade each day. I've really narrowed my list down probably since my last time having these streams. Only 4 of these. What is this, 5? I got 5 pairs up here, but then what I'm going to do for you all is I'm going to go through a bunch of other pairs, and I'll take, suggestions, recommendations, anything like that, request. If you all want to see something, I will spend as much time going through as you need. All right, so we're going to start out on Nasdaq, and of course this is not meant to be a teaching event of any kind. If you want more teaching about first red, first green, 3 days breakouts, inside outside days, the tips and tricks, weekly templates and stuff, I've got plenty of playlists on my channel for that. This is meant to be for doing your analysis process in the evening or in the morning, and trying to figure out or narrow down what kind of pair or which pair you would like to look at. Now, of course, I don't have tomorrow's price action to go off of. All I have to go off of is at the close, do I have some kind of 3-day template setting up where I can watch that pair tomorrow and look at the structure of the day to see if that pair is something that I would like to watch. So to do that, we're going to be looking for inside days, outside days, first red, first green days, 3 days breakouts, and I'm going to pull up this tips and tricks slide for you all so that way you know what we're talking about when I say that. All right, so I'm going to start out on Nasdaq, and we're going to try and go through this as slow as I can and not miss anything. Try and get off all the details, not go as fast as I normally do for myself. So this is an inside day on Friday, and the first thing that I'm noticing as I'm looking at this is we've been in consolidation since Thursday, Friday. They've been holding this in a pretty big rectangle. Okay, so let's take a look and see. As far as template-wise, where was day 1? We had a day 1 of the 3-day cycle. Okay, day 1 on a Wednesday. Then we had a peak formation high put in place on Thursday, day 1, day 2. And then Friday was day 3, which was also an inside day. Then we got the repeat of day 3 on Monday, which now is day 1. Today was day 2. And at the high of the week, we have a breakout that attempted to go higher and kind of failed. So let's pull up tips and tricks real quick, just to make sure that I'm not going to miss anything. All right, there we go. Let me zoom in on this. Good stuff. So these are all, with more words than are probably needed, ways of me looking and seeing what kind of template is showing up for the week. All right, so number one, market closed outside of the opening range on a Tuesday. Probability of Wednesday continuation increased significantly unless the breakout fails on Wednesday. Now, what this is saying is opening range breakout. The market only does three things, right? So if Monday created a range, Tuesday has broke out of that range and then closed outside of Monday's range, well, that means that as far as like a 3-day template goes, the possibility of breakout pullback, trend trade continuation on Wednesday goes up quite significantly because it is in the conditions needed in order for that template to show up. Now, there are templates where on Wednesday, instead of breaking out and pulling back and trending, again, like I said, I don't have price action for the day, where they're working the high of the day on Wednesday. I come to the screen for New York. They've made a lower low. It pulls back. 9:30 opens up for whatever pair. That would be my ideal template on a Wednesday for a reversal trade, not for a trend trade. So that's what this is saying about the breakout of Tuesday. The breakout of Monday's high if it were to fail. Okay, so number two, I want you to try and keep these in mind as we're going through, because I'm probably going to ask questions just to keep everybody engaged or involved. Might work, might not. We'll see. Market closes a failed breakout on Tuesday, probability of going to the other side of the range. So again, this all comes back to the three things that markets do. We break out on Tuesday. That breakout fails. Well, what does that do? That happened at the high of the current week. So that would be day one of the 3-day cycle. Now, what could happen on the following day? Well, there's only two scenarios. Either this is going to be a trap, where it's like a first red day trap or a day one trap, and it breaks out on Wednesday and does something like this. That is where using price action on the day is going to be significantly just really important in general. But what this number two is saying is, because the market only does three things, and the nature of when breakouts fail, they tend to go for the other side of the range. So if I start getting lower lows and lower highs, that's what I could be looking for, okay? That could either be in Asia, London, or New York, of course. It doesn't matter which session. It depends on what session you're trading, of course, but those trades can happen in any session. So number three, if Monday's breakout fails, then Tuesday's breakout fails at the other end of the week. What this is saying is basically peak formation high, peak formation low, or peak formation low, peak formation high, whichever one. So if we get a breakout of Friday's high on a Monday, come down, breakout of Monday's low on a Tuesday, this essentially has created a peak formation high, peak formation low. This is building the rectangle. If you watch the 3-day cycle live stream and the video that I posted before that, building a 3-day rectangle, and then looking for channels, short squeeze, long squeeze, depending on how the day is set up. It doesn't matter. Whenever I come to the session, I will know, or nothing. It could just be, real choppy on the inside. So that's what that is saying. Peak formation high, peak formation low. Number four is an extension of number three, basically an outside day. So if you have Monday and then on Tuesday, they spike both sides, and then it's the exact same thing as number three, just it happened all in one day. You get peak formation high and low, you get a high and a low, you get a rectangle, and then on day three, you might get your trend move or reversal move, whichever one. Building a rectangle. All right. This one does not apply for what we're talking about today. This one does not apply for what we're talking about today. Number 7, my least favorite. Oh, let's see here. Yep, okay, number 7, my least favorite. So we have Monday's range, and then sometimes you'll notice that on Tuesday they will break out of Monday and go up super duper high or down super duper low. The reason this is my least favorite is because it has too many possibilities. In my opinion, it could either pull back and then continue to trend. It could break down and then pull back, and you might get kind of some like stair-stepping back down to this level. Or it could just be held up high, and this is my least favorite, and the one that I feel like tends to happen the most. It goes up there, and it just sits in a rectangle, tightly wound all day long, range day, tightly wound, and you just get slapped back and forth. So whenever I see these, unless it is super duper clear, the high and the low are super obvious, lower lows, higher highs, all those things, I tend to try and stay away from those templates, and I will just look elsewhere. All right, so we got all this out of the way. Thank goodness. Let's go back here and see. Did any of those templates take place for Monday, Tuesday? Well, we got a peak formation. Where's the previous day's low? It was down here. So we got a peak formation high up top. They broke out on Tuesday and failed to go higher, but we're still making higher highs and higher lows. So let's mark the structure of this off. We got a high. I'm just going to leave this as a rectangle. Make sure I'm not missing anything. This box is annoying. Let's see. This is day 1 of the cycle. That's good to note it. I'd project this breakout level across here. But other than this, I'm not seeing anything super clear that I should be looking at. Because we're just on the inside right now. Previous week's high and low has not been triggered yet, which is important. As I'm going through this, if you'll have questions, please let me know. You can just put them in the chat, and I will be happy to answer. Let's take a look and see if you got anything. 10 p.m. Okay. Definitely not. Lower low is the keyword. Yes, on the day itself, Fauci, if like 3 days of breakouts or any trade setup, if they're making higher highs and higher lows and you're trying to go short, there's a good chance you're going to get kind of beat up. You're going to be trying to short a pullback, something like that. It's better to just wait for, in my opinion, wait for the lower low, lower high to look for the entry. All right, I'm going to go to US30. I didn't really see anything super promising to on the Nasdaq. All right, so number one, with this pair, we had a day 1, day 2. Today was day 3. But Monday was a breakout day of Friday. So I'm going to project this level across. And that was the first day of breakouts down. Now, did today close in breakout? Yes, it did. So I'm going to project this across. This is actually my most recent and current. And I should be using this one and not this one. Let's put this down here. Yep, that looks good. Are there some books on the templates? Not that I know of. That tips and tricks slide I made out of my own observation to help myself. It's kind of like a guide. Let's see here. Let's see. Breakouts. Day 1 breakouts. Day 2 breakouts now. All right, so tomorrow could be day 3 breakouts if we get that down there. I'm going to put a little question mark just in case they do break lower. Today was not a first red day or a first green day. It was not a inside day. It was not an outside day. It was just a breakout day to the downside. Weekly template-wise, we have a breakout of the opening range. So I'm going to add a little note to myself. Oh my goodness. There we go. Is the breakout going to succeed or fail? Again, you know, are we going to continue to trend lower? Or do I come to the screen tomorrow and maybe we have like a 3 push pattern into the low on day 3, 3 days of breakouts? Maybe they make a higher high and I can get a reversal trade off of that. It all depends about how the day looks tomorrow. But the details that I currently have right now is today closed in breakout. So it's either going to succeed or fail. I can either look for a trend trade template, or if I come to the screen and they have been making higher highs and higher lows, they've consolidated in this area and start to break back up to the upside, then I will look for that as well. All right, any questions on US30? Am I going too fast? Everybody with me? All right, sounds good. We're going to go on to the Russell. All right. Okay, the Russell, Friday was an inside day. That's fine. A little bit late, kind of irrelevant. Monday was a breakout day, pretty wide opening range. And then today was also a breakout day, so very similar to US30. If I misspell something, it's due to my ability to, or my inability to type, and we're just going to let it go. Or you can roast me. It doesn't matter. All right, so day 2 breakouts. Again, going back to tips and tricks. Looking at, is this going to be a lower low, lower high trend trade? Or is this going to be a higher high, higher low reversal trade? Is the breakout of this rectangle down low, that breakout level down to here, is this consolidation going to reverse and maybe go back towards the high of the week? Dump for a pump. Although I think that maybe we've been kind of. Now we're fine. This is good. Okay, so I don't have 3 days of breakouts. I don't have an inside day or an outside day. No first red or first green day. All I have is a breakout day based off of the 3-day templates, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, those tips and tricks that we just looked at. This would have been this one here. For US30 and this pair, the Russell, this is what we're thinking about right now. Or at least I am. Okay. I think this is all I can do. Hopefully we find some more interesting pairs that make me jump out of my seat. Or else this could be a little boring. All right. Inside day on Monday. Opening range for the week. And then today closed up high. So how high did we close? We closed 150 pips, 3 levels of 50. Let's get that up there. So I'm measuring from the previous day's high from the breakout. Now with this, let's see, do we have... Nope, okay, so this is the first day of breakouts. This is day 1 of the 3-day cycle back here. A peak formation day that failed on the following day. This inside day was also a first green day that obviously has gone vertical today. So now we have the 3 levels out, not only using the 100 pip box, not that I used the 100 pip box, I just measured, but also the stair step. So I'm going to put this up there. Okay. Does this mean that it's going to reverse tomorrow? Absolutely not. Remember back beginning of the stream just now, I said this is my least favorite template. I'm just going to put all these details up there. And if I come tomorrow and it looks good, maybe. Good stuff, Grant. Okay, so we got a higher high and a 1-bar pullback and a higher high. This is a 15-minute chart. I'm going to go down to a 5. All right, so this low is somewhat relevant. So what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to mark this off as my end-of-day consolidation. Because that low and that high is valid. So if it starts to break down outside of this range, excuse me, then I'll know coming into New York what to look for. Hey, you got a question. Good stuff. What's up? While you're typing out that question, I'm just going to point out that what I'm looking at right now and why I'm marking this off is number 7. We've got 3 levels of rise outside of Monday's high. There's a potential for reversal throughout the week. But remember I said that there's too many possibilities or probabilities, and I don't really care for it. Let's see. Want to make sure I'm not missing anything else. Oh, let's get this breakout level marked off. This is day 1 breakouts. Okay. It does look like it's trading fairly clean, so hopefully it doesn't look like garbage tomorrow. 009, I don't know how long your question is, but I'm about to move on. Hey, if you're still typing, I'll come back. We're going to go to gold. Just a little review of this, just to make sure that I think I went a little too fast. My apologies. Friday, breakout that failed at the low of the current week. Right here. Day 1, day 2 of the cycle. Today was day 3 after first green day. So this is actually a really good template. Going long. Good stuff. 009. So if day 1 was Friday on oil, do you skip inside day Monday, or do you count it and Tuesday will be day 3? Yep, I just said that. That sounded rude. I didn't mean to be. Yeah, this is supposed to be day 3 because breakout fails next day 1, day 2, and then day 3 is today. The only time I moved that day 3 over, so if day 3 would have landed on Monday, I would have said, okay, I'm just going to push that over to the next day, and I'll use day 3 since it was such a... Day 3 was just a consolidation day, so I'm going to look at it the next day for either trend or if they're working the high or they're working the low for the reversal on day 3. All right, let's take a look at gold. Gold is just going up. It's been going up for a bit. Yep, no worries. Let's go. This was week 1 breakouts. Oh, man. And I actually end up missing my favorite setup of all time yesterday, Monday, which was disappointing, but it is what it is. I'm going to show you why I missed it and why it should have been taken and why I will absolutely be taking it in the future. But it was set up really well. It was just kind of late in the session, and I stopped paying attention. So, week 1 breakouts. Hey, this is the pips to profit indicator for the one that just asked. This one right here. And it's free. It's on Discord in the indicator section. The link to Discord's in my description. It's free. Everything's free. Just head over there and grab it. All right. The previous day's high and low, previous month, all that stuff. It's the previous open, high, low, close by Nephew Sam, but also the pips to profit indicator can do that for you. I'm a little stingy about my lines and what they look like. All right, so back to this. Week 1 breakouts, and then we have 3 days of breakouts. So day 1, day 2, day 3 of breakouts. 3 days of breakouts. They close higher 3 days in a row. That's great. That's all fine and dandy. But the most important piece of the puzzle is the fact that we had a breakout, a base, space, and then a ramp into the high, into New York, and a 3 push pattern. Peak 1, peak 2, and peak 3. Ending in 1, 2, and 3 with a double top peak formation high, 1 bar fake out, and a breakout to the downside. This is a 1 bar range at the high. Okay, this is something to look for. I've been emphasizing these more lately because of just how important they are. But a lot of people have been saying on Discord that they can get the cycle, but they can't get the entries. This is another one that I really like to look for. This is a 1 bar range and a breakout down after the 3 pushes, peak formation high. This was the entry bar. That's the stop. Stops go above push 2. That's where people should be trapped. And then targeting, my target for these types of trades is always previous day's high. Next target is closing price, and the next target is previous day's low. All right. It's all pre-programmed. Really great setup. I call this the pink rabbit just because it's stupid and it's easy to remember because pink rabbits are ridiculous. That it's not even real. But they really stand out, right? All right. Okay, so back to the analysis of gold. Week 1 breakouts, 3 days breakouts, 4 days of breakouts. We still haven't hit previous day's low. We're into 5 days now. 5 days breakouts. All right, so 5 days breakouts. We could be in an extended run. Daily chart just keeps going higher. Okay, and you can tell we had a consolidation and a breakout, and this is going parabolic. Eventually it will end. What goes up must come down, but right now, oh, look at this, shaved bars going higher. We got 3 of them now. Okay, so this being said, do I want to just look to go short on this? Absolutely not. What I do need to do is pay attention to structure. I'm still on a 5-minute chart. Let's go to a 15. This higher high right here, we had a 2-bar pullback, and this bar went down into the low of this bar. So we're going to use this as a high. That's good. And we've actually gone a little bit higher. So I'm going to use this as my end of day consolidation going into the next day. Shave bar is no wick on bottom, no wick on top. You can have a little wick on top. We're going up. So, but no wick on bottom. Basically, Al Brooks would say that's the bears were in control, or the bulls were in control the entire time. Really strong maneuver, if you will. All right, so what would I actually be looking for? We're making higher highs and higher lows. We've got 3 days of breakouts. 3 days of breakouts for me is a signal. But that signal needs to be followed by a lower low. I'm not just going to take this trade because, well, we've gone up for 5 days and it must go back down. Lower low, pull back 3 pushes, New York session, continuation. Or Asia, London, New York, lower low, New York, lower high. Something like this, okay? That is what I would be looking for. I will accept nothing less. I'm not going to look for a trend trade to go higher, even though that probably would be the easy trade. That's not my reoccurring setup that I look for. So we're going to just leave it at that. Okay, weekly template-wise, let's take a look and see. Is there a weekly template that would tell me to go long? Okay, I'm going to... Ooh, let me see if I can... Do I have it accessible? I do. Nice. Where am I? I just lost it. There we go. Okay, so first red day traps. This is part of my playbook that I made to kind of give me what do you call it? Like a note card style for me to look at and have reference to. Let's come down here. Some of you that are in the boot camp would probably recognize this. Let's see. At least you should. I hope you would. Okay, first red days. Okay, first red day traps. So a lot of times in extended runs or strong moves going in one direction, you'll get this pause day and it'll turn into a first red day and you're like, oh, look at all this pumping. Oh, first red day, time for the dump. And then the next day we'll go vertical and break out to the upside. And this is actually a price action pattern that you can look for on a smaller time frame as well. A 5-minute chart, you get a big bar down. That could be a 1-bar range. And then you get some inside bars and a breakout back up to the upside. That's the trap for a low, a higher high, and maybe even a higher low. And then on the next bar, if it continues to go higher, that could be an entry. But this is on a daily chart, right? So we're looking at this and thinking, okay, first red day in a strong moving market going to the upside. We get a first red day and a breakout in the opposite direction. Maybe on the next day, we're going to get a trend trade. So let's go back to what we're looking at here. So we have a breakout day. And what details would I need to look for if I was going to look to take a trend trade? I would need to project my breakout level across. I should label it if my computer will participate. There we go. There we go. So what would I need to see? I would need to see them continuing to make higher highs and higher lows, or if they do start making lower lows and lower highs, before the New York session opens, they make a higher high and pull back, and then I get the short squeeze off the low of the day for the trend continuation. Would I be willing to take that? If it was set up perfect, absolutely. So I've got that set up. Now, with the 5 days of breakouts, like I said, if it breaks down, I could get that set up. High of week reversal, 3 days of breakouts, good stuff. So we'll see which one shows up tomorrow. I know that some of you have been asking a lot about gold. I'm going to skip these ads so you don't miss anything. Anybody have any questions on gold? It seems to be the favorite for many. Also by hated by a lot as well. I saw a thing the other day. Someone said, I don't understand gold. I can't get a grasp on it. Trade smaller, in my opinion. Trade smaller. And it's the same exact thing. A chart is a chart. They all reflect human behavior. This chart's going to do the same exact thing as Euro USD. Whatever. It just might be more volatile and go a little bit further. Whew, okay, if you were in to trade London, high of day, low of day. High of day, low of day, peak formations. That's it. That's all I would look for, in my opinion. Again, if I was trading London, I would primarily only focus on the BTMM style of trades. 3 levels of rise to the high of the day, 3 levels outside of the Asian range, reversal trades back down to the low of the day. That would, if I was trading London, that's all I would focus on. Of course, that's opinion, but man, what is with my camera? There we go. Nice. Let's see. Let's go on. I'm going to go to here and take some requests. Suppose the same for BTC. Yep. In fact, you know what? We can do Bitcoin right now. Right, meow. Actually, I've got a futures variant. Let's go down here and click that one. Take a look at Bitcoin. So everything has a previous day's high and previous day's low. All right. We're going to discount the weekend. This is the code for futures, BTC, 1, exclamation mark. All right, so we've discounted the weekend. Previous day's low, previous day's high. Same thing is going to apply. What kind of day is this? Well, they hit the previous day's high. They hit the previous day's low on Monday. All right, so we get an outside day. This is going to be a day 1 of the 3-day cycle. And then over here, we got a pretty big consolidation, narrow range day on day 2. So for those of you who saw that 3-day cycle video, day 2 can become a consolidation day. All right, day 2 of the 3-day cycle, which means tomorrow will be day 3. Okay, we got some pins to the low, but no significant breakouts that would reset the cycle. Essentially, what we do have is peak formation high and low, but it's not exactly the best peak formation high and low. But this rectangle is looking really good and promising. So for those of you that trade Bitcoin, let's see, how many weeks of breakouts up do we have? This was a reset day or week 1 of the cycle. Week 1 breakouts last week, but the breakout level's pretty far away. My mustache. Natural gas. Okay. Really like this. Nice rectangle. I'd be looking for squeezes. High of day, low of day. That's it. Watch structure. Day 3. Not only day 3 of the cycle, but day 3 of the week. The reason I like this is because this is a fairly large down close day in an up moving market. Not to say that this is what's going to happen, so please don't yell at me and tell me, oh my gosh, it didn't happen. But what I would be looking for is either 2 variations. And I'm sorry that I'm just like violently scrolling back and forth. I'm trying to get up and find my place, but my computer doesn't like streaming, so there we go. Something like this. When you get these peak formation high, peak formation low, large decline days, stuff like this is what I like to see. And then I've got over here, where did it go? For outside days. There it is. Can just be one very large day of decline, and on the following day, watching those consolidation, the rectangles, and the vertical moves. Now, we didn't get a vertical move today, which could tell us something, but pretty narrow range. All right, natural gas. This is the next one that I'm seeing y'all suggest. Let's find it. Do I not have it here anymore? Actually, I saw someone say silver. Let's go to silver, and then I'll go to natural gas. All right. Yeah, this is another one. It just keeps on going higher and higher. Multiple days breakouts. 1. They reset it over here. 1, 2, 3. And then with this, same exact thing. You might be able to guess what I'm going to say. 3 days of breakouts is a signal day. What would I need to see? I would need to see lower, low, lower, high. However, this is also broken out. So watch out for those trend moves. Markets that are in breakout may tend to, kind of remain in breakout. So let's see. Okay, market only does 3 things. All right. Or we could get something like this. All right, either one. Good seeing you, Paulie. Good hearing from you. All right, pretty similar to gold. We've just been running higher, 3 days breakouts. Not looking to counter this unless it's very clear, 3 sessions, lower low, lower high, New York session. Otherwise, watch that breakout level. They might be pulling back to go and continue. All right, 3 levels of drop, back down to the breakout level, peak formation low, trend trade continuation. Let's see, natural gas. I'm going to have to find... there we go. I'm going to talk about the Widowmaker. This is a violent pair. I do not like how this pair trades. And I understand I just said that everything reflects human behavior and things, but when I'm watching this move around on the screen, it just... I don't know. It just moves really strange. Okay, day 1, 3-day cycle on Monday. Today's day 2. Tomorrow's day 3. We'll just highlight this. Peak formation day. First green day. This is day 1 because it was a peak formation day. It was a breakout that failed and has closed back at the other side of the range. It's came up now and has just remained in consolidation. We got your 3 levels of drop in the trend trade opportunity in the beginning of New York. But it didn't go anywhere. All right, so we got our day 1 lows intact. Day 1 highs are also intact. And now we've got a rectangle. All right, just a consolidation. Let's see. Where are we at? Man, how long has this been going? Week 1, week 2. So we're into week 3 breakouts now. So we've been going down. This might be first green day, first red day. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put this... And I'm going to watch this tomorrow. I'm not going to watch it, but 3 session setup. Hey, Dawson, so the templates, right? Think about the templates. Peak formation high, peak formation low, short squeeze, long squeeze, high of day, low of day, right? That's all one. That's all in one setup. 3 days of breakouts. Peak formation high, lower low, lower high, reversal trade, back down. Stuff like that, right? All of the setups that we're talking about for the 3-day opportunities, take those templates and then put it into Asia, London, New York, and you just found yourself a 3-session setup. And then those 3-session setups could be in line with a larger 3-day setup, and then even better. All right, so like the tips and tricks, the playbook, the tips and tricks for the weekly template, different kinds, the signal days, stuff like that. Like all of that could be put into, I don't know if I've never used like first red, first green session. I've never done that. But if you want to go back test and try that on your own, maybe, who knows? But yeah, all the templates are the same. Cam, do you agree with only, I would say that through other people, they've told me that they try to focus on one template only. And then it didn't show up enough, so they got frustrated and then started over trading. I would say that you should, not saying master 3, but at least figure out first red, first green, and then maybe like add one more in there that you're really good at seeing. So that way, I saw Stacey say that in one of his, yeah, I've never used that or seen that, but who knows? Could be. I would say, yeah, like I said, go and find 2 or 3 that you like, get really good at seeing them, and then try to master the entries on each one. But the entries are always the same. So if you're screwing up the entries on one template, you're going to screw it up on all of them. All right, more suggestions. What else do people want to see? We already hit Bitcoin. We hit silver. We just hit natural gas. This is kind of a peak formation low, peak formation high. Tomorrow's day 3. I say day 3 and then I type day 2. Wild. Go back. There we go. Pound yen. Nice. Peak formation low, peak formation high. And then on the day itself, peak formation high, peak formation low. Now, I want you to take a look at this. Who asked this? 009? Okay, peak formation low, peak formation high, consolidation in the middle. Now, take this and look at this. Okay, high, low, high, low. Now, I don't know what this is going to do. I really don't know. But all I can do is just remember what's happened in the past, think about the template, and then go into the future. So let's take a look at this, and then take a look at US30 from a few weeks ago, if you all want to scroll back to this day. You can. I got to find it first. It's getting a little far away. I mean, it's kind of the same thing, but it's not. There it is. No, it's not that one. Man, how far away was this thing? This is always my go-to example. There it is. Thing really stands out when you see it. So the peak formation high on a Monday, peak formation low on a Tuesday, peak high, peak low on that Tuesday, consolidation and reversal. Now, is it going to reverse tomorrow? I don't have any idea. This closed back on the inside of the previous day's range, project that level across, and you can see what happened. All right, end of day consolidation, consolidated all the way up till New York, higher high, higher low, and then the reversal. So now we can go back and take a look at what you just had me looking at, pound yen. Compare and contrast a little bit. It doesn't look identical. It's somewhat similar though. Peak formation high, peak formation low, peak formation high, and then spiking both sides. But this did not close back on the inside of the other previous day's range. So that's one thing that stands out to me as a difference. So I'm going to use this as my end of day consolidation. I'm going to use these two peaks here and here because that builds the box. And cycle-wise, day one. Today is day two and a breakout day. And then tomorrow is either going to be trend trade or reversal. If it starts breaking back down, making lower lows and highs, easy as that. Did you do oil yet? Yeah, I did, Paulie. Here, let me go back. I'll show you my notes. My notes aren't on there. There we go. All right, Paulie first. Read this. Breakout on Tuesday. Closes 3 levels of rise or fall outside the opening range. Potential for reversal. Possibility, right? This is my least favorite one because there's too many probabilities or possibilities. 3 levels. 3 levels, 150 pips. 3 levels of 50 outside of the previous day's high. All right, so we start breaking down, maybe. But it would have to be perfect. In fact, let me... do I have an example of this? I can show you what I would consider to be perfect on that template. Oh boy, where are we going? Bear with me. I know. If I was good at this, I should have it all pre-planned. There we go. So 3 levels out, high and a low, obvious, lower low, London, pull back, peak formation high, high of day, breaks down, lower low, pull back, lower high. This would be what I would consider to be perfect, all right? We're going back for the money. We're going back for the breakout level, previous day's low. That would be ideal, all right? That's perfect. So when I say that, I don't like this template, I don't. But this is what if I did trade this is what I would be considering to be perfect, okay? Awesome. All right, I saw a pound dollar ask. And then if you all could just give me some more to go through. We got another, 15 minutes? Oh, this is nice. Yeah, this is pretty similar to pound... Is it pound yen? Yeah, pound yen, but in the other direction. Okay. Breakout day. Peak high. Peak low. We've closed back on the inside of the previous day's range, so marking off this end of day consolidation and then watching how tomorrow behaves. This is day 1 of the cycle, by the way. Not quite a first green day, but peak high, peak low, day 1. Have we been going up or down? Okay, week 1 down, week 2 down. Week 3 attempted to go down. So you've got 2 or 3 weeks of breakouts down. All right, so I would be watching this consolidation and watch, is this breakout succeeding or failing? All right, so we got the breakout fails. If this rectangle starts breaking out and making higher highs and higher lows, I'm sorry, I keep saying words trailing off and then going to pictures, but the pictures are what I'm trying to, there we go. So like this, I've got my end of day consolidation mark. They start breaking out, making higher highs and higher lows, right? And pulling back and engulfing. All right, so if the rectangles keep getting broken out of, that's for that style of template or that style of end of day and the template and things like that. Monday, Tuesday, Monday opening range breakout has failed. All right, go back up here to this. Monday's breakout has failed. Okay, so maybe we're going to look at this. Got to watch structure on the day. Euro pound. Oh, someone said dollar yen before you, so I'm going to go, we'll do that one. And then I'll go to the other one. All right, same thing. So this is, again, back to tips and tricks. This is day 1 of the cycle. We're into day 2 of the cycle. Day 2 of the cycle was a breakout day. So what question am I asking myself? Tomorrow's day 3. Is this breakout going to succeed? Or is it going to fail? All right, end of day consolidation. Don't get fancy with it. It's just the last high, the last low. Take the one that looks the most obvious. Okay. How many weeks up do we have? Ooh, okay. Week 1, week 2, almost 3, 4. We got 4 weeks up. Hey, so on this pair, just a note, with 4 weeks of breakouts going one direction, if you come to the screen one day and you see 3 sessions of breakout, something like this, where you've got breakout traders, London, and you've got space, and then a ramp going to the high, peak formation high in New York. This is that setup that I was joking about, the pink rabbit. It's not really called that, by the way. I've never seen that anywhere. It was a joke that I had with my mom because she trades as well, and she had said, "Oh, it's the pink rabbit." And I was like, "Oh, I'm going to call it that." It's the one that stands out. Okay, so with 3 or 4 weeks of breakouts in the market to the upside, if I saw this daily template, I would be very excited to trade this because I just don't know what tomorrow's going to do. So just for reference. All right, tomorrow's day 3. Weekly template, breakouts. Any other signal day? No. Good. No, she does not. Not even close. Not even a little bit close. She trades stocks as well. Paulie, I already did. I'll show you my notes, though. Day 2 breakouts. Will the breakout succeed or fail? It's got a pretty small or pretty tightly wound rectangle going into day 3 tomorrow. Which one did I just look at? Was that the dollar yen? Yep. Okay. So that means that someone wanted to see euro pound. Euro pound. All right, there it is. All right, so number one. You see this, someone asked about 3-session templates. You see this template all the time because it happens over and over again, either within the session or within the day, within multiple days. Consolidation on Monday. Spike the low, spike the high, breakout day one to the downside. This is looking clean, all right? I don't want to get your hopes up or make you feel a certain type of way, so don't listen to me. How about this? I don't know what I'm talking about. Just take what I say at face value, all right? Or don't take it at face value. You know, this is a breakout day one. Peak formation high. Peak formation low. And now we broke out down. Also coming off of 1, 2, 3. My computer hates me. There we go. You probably know exactly what 3 I'm talking about. So we got the peak high, peak high, peak high. 3 peaks coming off of the pump that was made over here from Friday. And now we have a breakout day to the downside. So what I'm going to do is I would take this and say, hey, this is a rectangle, end of day consolidation. I want to see a lower low, lower high trend trade down. And that's also in line with tips and tricks. Breakout down on Tuesday. If I come to the screen, though, and it starts making higher highs and higher lows, we start breaking out of this, and it starts doing something like this. That's what you got to watch out for, all right? That's a clean... I think out of everything, this is probably the best template that I've seen cleanliness-wise, if you will. All right, ladies and gentlemen, this has been a good stream. I've had a lot of fun. I'm going to be doing these every Tuesday and Thursday, 5 p.m. And if I don't do it for whatever circumstance or reason, I will let you all know through the Discord and also through YouTube community section. So any last minute questions? Anything left? Does this work on NQ? Chris, chart is a chart. Everything reflects human behavior. It doesn't matter what chart. You could trade currencies. You could trade indices. You can trade crypto. Whatever you like, whatever you prefer. I just like to have a small basket. Okay, this is my basket with all my little apples in there. This is it right here. 009. This everything that I'm doing right now, I do it on these five pairs, and at night or in the morning when I do this, I say, hey, this is the one that's there. This is the details that I've got, and then when I come into tomorrow, right before New York session, I can look at the price action on the day and say, hey, based off of the information that I had last night, this is the one that's setting up the best, and I'm going to focus on this one. And that's it. And I do that by using structure. What is in line with what I thought last night based off of structure and timing and all that stuff. CAD JPY. Almost forgot that pair existed. Hold on. Yep. Okay, so same thing, right? Peak formation low. Day one of the cycle on Monday. And also a breakout day. So this is an outside day. Then we have a breakout day today. Day two of the cycle. So again, go back and watch my 3-day cycle video. This is a breakout day. My question to myself tomorrow is, will it succeed or fail? Also, back to the tips and tricks slide. This is a breakout day. Are we going to pull back and continue? 3 levels of drop. Measure. Peak formation, low of day. Higher high, higher low. That's what I would look for a trend trade. If it's up here working the high and it breaks down, New York session opens up, making lower lows and lower highs. Hey, this breakout may have failed. And the idea is that now maybe we're going to go back and retest the other side of the range. If it goes up and it goes up multiple times and it keeps on trying to go higher and it can't, eventually it'll break down and go back for the other side. They got to go back for the money over here. US Swiss. Let's take a gander. I'll take a stare. September 25th. Could you comment? Let's take a look, 4K. I'm guessing you thought it was going to do one thing and then it shocked you, or what happened? September 25th. All right, this is going to be the last one, and I got to eat and spend time with family. No, I just didn't see anything. Okay. Okay, so you're talking about for London? All right, let's ignore what happened today, or what happened this day. Because everything that I've been saying is you have to be able to see it in real time, as well as just based off those tips and tricks and things like that, right? So let's go back and see what we see before that day even starts that would say, okay, well, maybe I could be watching this pair, or maybe I should be watching this pair. Monday, first red day. All right, we've pumped it up. We pumped it up, and maybe we're going to go back for this down here, right? We got 3 peaks and a breakdown day, a first red day. So this would be day 1-ish of the cycle, first red day. This day, looking for a short trade. Good. That looks good. Okay, we get a breakout day. So this is the point where I keep saying it over and over, which is important. It's good. You got to hear that repetition, right? Is the breakout going to succeed or fail? This was a breakout day. This is my rectangle now. That breakout level down to here. So will this either build a consolidation, which I can draw a new line on, and then they start breaking out one way or the other? So let's go forward. Do they continue to go lower? Okay, so we break down in the gap time prior to the Asian session. All right, so lower lows, lower highs still. We get a 1-bar pullback, and they start to build a peak formation low at this point. See the little W. So let's put a little line across there. See if they start working the W. Okay, so we're working down. Now, at this point, that is a big down close bar on a 15-minute chart. So maybe shorts are now trapped down here. Okay, and they're kind of proving that to us at this point. So we've got a higher high. Is this going to turn into a higher low? If this engulfs and goes back up, this will turn into a higher low. So let's see. Okay, they're still working the low. Still no engulfment. Okay. I don't know if that was an engulfment. It's kind of hard to tell. Okay, there we go. So now we have a higher low in place. All right, so that's perfect. So this is a short squeeze pattern. Higher high, higher low, engulfment. That's the higher low and the squeeze. Now, down on a 5-minute chart, it probably is even more clean than this. Oh, yeah. That is clean. Very nice. So peak formation low, higher high, works back down into the low right in the beginning of the session. Once, twice, 3 times. There's your engulfment. Didn't quite hit the high. There's your engulfment. We've now taken out the high of the bar. And a pullback, that's the first pullback into the EMA. So if you didn't take the right side of the W, which I actually kind of prefer, it really doesn't matter. Sometimes I catch this one. Sometimes I catch the first pullback. But there's your inside down close bar and a run up, essentially, that 1-bar range breakout for a good entry. Okay, so those are all the details that you could have thought about in real time. I know this is in hindsight. It's like, okay, this is great, but these are all things that you could be looking for in real time. Comedy, it's good hearing from you. Good to hear it. All right, ladies and gentlemen, 1 minute until 6 o'clock, so I'm going to go. Really great stream. Hey, I'll answer that one last question. I keep saying that. Rectangle. 2 full expansions. Breakout level. Okay. All right, this has been a good stream. Thank you all for being here. Tuesdays and Thursdays, 5 p.m. every single week, prepping for the next day. I'll see you on the next one. Bye-bye.